Hey guys, Tom from Universal Audio here at the Namm 2020 booth, and welcome to our Lunarverse. We are really proud to present at this show the Lunar recording system. So what is the Lunar recording system? Well, hopefully you're familiar with our Apollo Thunderbolt audio interface range, so things like this Apollo X4 just to the side of me here. So the Apollo has been a huge success as the industry-leading desktop and rack mount audio interface that lets you run and record through our U82 plugin library. So we have this huge library of like 150 processors and plus. You know, it's growing all the time. Classic tape machines, Neve, preamps, etc., etc. And previously you were able to run that within Apollo Console and then record into your computer. Well, now with the Lunar recording system, we transform your Apollo into the most analog sounding, inspirational, intuitive, and deeply integrated recording platform on the market right now. So we have the Apollo Thunderbolt interface is component one that has the DSP on board for low latency workflows. And then you have your Mac application, which is Lunar, which will be available in spring 2020. And the big thing here is that if you own a Thunderbolt audio interface from Universal Audio and Apollo, you are getting the Lunar application for free. So you can run unlimited tracks, audio tracks, buses, MIDI tracks. You can do single window workflows for recording here. So you'll see we have audio tracks in here. There is a variety of MIDI tracks running instruments. You can write, produce, edit, mix, do everything you need to do within the Lunar application. But there are a few things that make Lunar different. First up, we have deep integration with your Apollo itself. So up in here you'll see, for example, if I record enable a track, we're going to bring up 1073 plugin, and this is now going to be able to run your UAD processing and has your unison slot and everything that's up front in the Apollo stored in your session. So for recording, it will remember the sound that you created on your Apollo and just give you that back every time you come back to that session. So it's an amazingly integrated workflow. But then moving on from that, like leveraging the host power of the Mac itself, we have two huge announcements as part of the Lunar recording system. The first one is Lunar Extensions. So Lunar Extensions, you'll see below here, operate in a couple of different ways. We have a tape slot. So you have multi-channel tape that will run across your session, and you can actually run multiple machines. So you'll see here we have 4 tape machines, A, B, C, and D, and they can run either, right now, the oxide tape, which comes with Lunar, which is like a very simple tape saturation you can run on each channel. But we're also announcing the Studer A800 tape itself. So people might be familiar with the plugin of the A800. So if I just expand this, you'll see that you have individual bias controls and repro EQ per channel for the Studer A800 tape that's running within the Lunar extension. The cool thing here is this is a cost option, so you'll buy the Studer A800 extension and it runs natively on your Mac CPU. But if you own the U82 plugin, Studer A800, you will get the extension for free. And then you have some really cool workflows where you're able to, for example, change the tape formulation across the whole session really quickly from within the Lunar environment. So it's like the deepest integrated tape workflow within a recording platform. And then we also have the sound of Neve Console. So on an input channel here on a mix bus, so any buses, whether that's like effects buses or you use them for subgrouping instruments together or for the main mix bus output, you have the integration of a 80 series 1970s Neve console summing with a headroom control and a couple of different impedances. So you're able to get the sound of that British, sound like a record, wonderful airy top end, 3-dimensional punch and fatness from the Neve right across your session. So that's a Lunar extension that's available for purchase into the application. So that's the kind of two really big Lunar extension announcements, multi-track tape and Neve. But then we're also, and we've been begged for this for years, announcing Lunar instruments or UA instruments. So they now run within the Lunar environment exclusively. And first up, we are announcing an authentic model of the MOE Minimo. So you have this mono synth, multi-oscillator, incredibly analog, classic model. Everything's in there, the noise, the way that it works with the filter and the overdrive. And so you can perform and play this using MIDI right within Lunar. and that's running, and so that's available for purchase, or will be available for purchase, I should say, in the spring when this whole thing is launched, to add to Lunar. And then we have the Ravel Grand Piano, which is the second Lunar instrument, which is a faithful capture of a Steinway model B piano in Ocean Way Studios. So you have this wonderful interface where you're able to very quickly blend between the room mics and the close mics and have this like ultimate studio grand piano right here. So that's another cost option that you can add to Lunar when it's available. And that's actually using a new technology called ultra resonance, which we use our modeling prowess, I suppose, or all of the stuff we've done over the last 20 years to create the most realistic piano sound, by looking at the resonances within the acoustic body of the piano itself and adding that to the way we recorded all the samples for it. And then we're also announcing the Shape instrument here, which comes for free with Lunar. And Shape itself is like a multi-toolkit, which gives you all the sounds you need to start writing, like an arsenal of great sounds. So as it loads up, I'll show you, but it has content in there from UA. The default patch is the Ravel Lite, so you have a version of our Steinway piano right in Shape. You have the ability to load, for example, in the other slots, string sounds from our friends in the UK, Spitfire Audio. And then you also have samples from like Orange Tree samples, where you might be able to load up something like a guitar, like the Stratosphere here. And then we have content and loops and drum sounds from people like Loops de la Creme, etc. You have built-in universal audio effects. You have two processors where you can load up things like delays and distortions and modulation effects. And my favorite feature of this in Shape is the ability to very quickly create key splits with these range controls and then be able to play like the piano and the guitar and everything across one controller keyboard. So you're able to like very quickly compose. And that's the whole game with Lunar, is that you want to create a musical idea, quickly jump into Shape, lay down all your parts, different sounds very quickly. You want the sound of a console, just enable the Neve, boom, you're there, you're in an analog studio. Make it sound like it's coming from tape, engage oxide, add the Studio. It's about creating quickly and having that deep workflow, but in a very simple to use package. So that's the Lunar announcement. It'll be available in spring, so please keep your eyes peeled. For more information, visit uaudio.com/Lunar. Thanks so much.